blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping, love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family, just thanks so much for the love and support. It is totally appreciated. We're all going through different things where we are parting ways. What is no longer serving, we're allowing ourselves to learn about our spirituality as well as the gifts we carried all into one on such a deeper level that it's like our ancestors are going to be truly proud of us when everything's said and done. So, with all that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, please drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacted your life, and heading you towards a positive direction. If you feel like the videos are informative, give you good uplift and good vibes that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath, they're going through trying times and need spiritual guidance or just needing confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share them while you're at it. Give your girl a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It's greatly appreciated, and I hope that you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And the music that I'm listening to, it comes from the channel of Miracle Tone Meditation, Positive Love Energy, 432 hertz, deep healing, cleanse, meditative, relaxing music, and cosmic love music. And I will post that link in the description box below. And the video I'm doing today is called Twin Flame 101. Heyokas, know you can make the choice to not choose. I know my dad has this song. I mentioned it one time before, I think in videos a couple of days ago. Is it was called One Song. It gets very deep, and I can totally understand the things that he was talking about in the song, where a lot of times we feel like we don't have the choice on how we do things, how we reflect, how we focus, how we respond. There's always a choice on doing things. You can choose to allow yourself to really understand what is taking place in your life currently, or throughout, just general. You can allow yourself to choose to see everything as a negative point that is taking place, or you can allow yourself to choose to not stay the same of what is taking place in your life and be stagnant. It's like everything that's been taking place in my life, I feel like is more of a blessing than a burden. you know um being able to understand what I'm pressing out, I have to be able to follow through with myself when it comes to my situation of change. Being able to reflect on everything that I had to choose to look at it in a different way. If I know if I was going to ascend in a big way, I have to allow myself to change the perspective of how I see things, whether, it could be a negative influence in my life, or somebody came at me in not such a positive way. Um, or it's just situations that need to change to take place on how I seen different things that has really placed me in a low frequency at times. Going through these ascension times and going through spiritual transformation that is taking place. There's a lot of people that are just now starting to wake up um, towards their empathy of gifts. It can be very scary. And if you don't know what's taking place in your life, and there's a lot of times where we're stepped in, we're placing ourselves in certain families that are not forthcoming about the things that are taking place within ourselves that we knew we stood out. Or there's been people that, if you've been blessed about situations like that, there will be some that were teaching you since you were a child, or there are certain things that's been said and you overlooked it. But then when this intense period came about for you to really recognize why everything had to be a certain way for you, it will start making sense on different parts of your life, different chapters where certain things really stuck out, but you didn't see it that way until it's like you went back, because there's a lot of things I look at in my life that has taken place, you know, um, doing videos. I never thought I was going to be sitting up here doing videos on YouTube and being open about, things that has taken place in my life, how things has brought me to a better, atmosphere of way I stayed focused on it. It was a long time. It's, very hard. I try to see it as a positive, but I had to really allow myself because, I'm the type of person. I don't know if it's like an OCD thing or ADD thing or whatever, but it was like for me to be able to really transform everything into a positive milestone, being able to allow myself to dive deep and look at everything that's taken place that really traumatized me to a deeper sense, to where it ripped me from everything that I thought I was. It was like basically I was living a lie, or just under that empathic amnesia that has taken place, because it was just like, damn, how come I didn't realize this before? It wasn't time for you to know yet. You can either choose to allow yourself to continue to look at things in a negative way, or just saying, this person's out to get me, this person's out to get me, or I can allow myself to know, you know, um, there's sometimes people may be, doing some slick stuff to you. The devil's always busy, but the universe, protects us as well. There's certain things we had to go through in life lessons too that really might have shook us up, or there's even a meme that I saw one time. I mentioned this before, where they showed like a picture of God, and it was like crazy. I was going to post that. I'm like, heck no, that's going, it's not like I'm worried about what people think, but I don't want nobody thinking I was being disrespectful, because there'll be times I have a dark humor. There'll be some people that catch my dark humor, but some other people would be thinking that's downright disturbing, or they take offense of it. But they were like, you see God smoking cigarettes, like they don't sit this person in your life you thought you were gonna love, but they in actuality God sent them your way to tear your whole life apart. And I mean, it really took me a long time. And people are like, Dad, do I have a choice? We always got a choice. We always got a choice. And being able to finally, I've seen it before, but I had to really go into a deeper view, if everything is taking place. I haven't been able to, at first, I guess it's like when I see myself now and I see myself months before, it was like I was barely scraping the surface. Like I was somewhat deep, but when you are allowing yourself to really part ways with that, I had to allow myself to say, I know every day is not going to be that good day, but I have to be able to allow myself to be able to appreciate what came out of that day, even though it may be overwhelming. It's just like when that day is all said and done with, being able to let go of the pain of yesterday, you know, being able, because there's no use on trying to hold on to something. If it's something you did and you can change that, you can. You can actually change that. You can always press that reset button and allow yourself to know, what, this didn't go right yesterday, but let me allow myself to approach it better the next day. There's always room for, you know, um, a room for growing. And it's like you're learning so many different things, about your life, about what gifts you carry. There's a lot of times we're going through meditation, and you may see like a little snippet of things that are probably yet to come for your life, or there are certain things that you may have missed out of, not really missed out of, but overlooked. And now it's that time that has taken place. It went right back to square one, where it started showing you certain things that you didn't pay attention to, or giving you that confirmation. You have the courage to overcome whatever is you feel like is holding you back. And a lot of times you have to be able to understand the vibrations you carry could be the main thing holding you back. So it was like when I was listening to my dad's song the other day, and it was just like, dang, I love the way he talks like that, because it's so deep, because everybody was like, he's just weird. And I'm like, no, he's just very misunderstood. If you're not awake, you're not going to know what the heck he's talking about, you know? And it really took me a long time to do that, because there's times when we done had discussions like in the spiritual realm. He's like, baby, I already know there's just certain things you ain't gonna understand. I'm like, yeah, you do that Morpheus talking. I'm really trying to, I'm like, can you dumb it down.com for me, daddy? Because I'm still trying to understand this. I'm still a work in progress. He'll just be looking at me and just shaking his head. But I appreciate everything that's going in my life. It wasn't always sunshine and rainbows, but then it's just like, it gave me that choice to choose to not be like I was forever. You had to be a certain way. You had to go through life lessons. You had to make these bad mistakes. You had to make bad judgments about who you connected with. Anytime you have connected with somebody that's very toxic, it taught you something of value that you really can take that way. You can allow yourself to make better choices on certain situations. A lot of times we wish that we didn't make these decisions, but you had to learn through the choices you made. You shouldn't be beating yourself up for stuff like that. We all make mistakes. There's always something. We probably did some dumb things. We all do. And I always tell people, even when it comes to my kids, especially if you're younger, you're going to go through different things. I tell my kids, y'all acting like I've been an adult my whole life, and it'll be something that my parents said, because it's crazy when you have your own children and you start saying something and you think, like, God, dog, I'm becoming my parent, you know. But we all have to live and learn. We're all going through things where we are all a work in progress. I always tell people, and I have to remind myself, don't be so hard on yourself. If you know you are on that focus of saying, I want to become better than what I was yesterday, I want to become better of where I was 5 minutes ago, I'm allowing myself to be fair towards myself, to let change take place. Because a lot of times change can be uncomfortable. But universe is always telling you, you have to allow yourself to let change take through. And a lot of times we get angry because the changes that are taking place, it be feeling like this is something that we needed in our lives. And it could be a certain situation or even a certain person. It can be a relationship, a friendship, or whatever. It already served its purpose. Then you're parting ways with that because it's no longer needed in your life. Or if you remain thinking that way or holding on to this, it's going to block you from where you're trying to be. And I know a lot of people that I connect with, they were like, Rosalind, people are coming at me negative, or they're saying I'm the bad person. They make me look like I'm the bad, reflecting out bad. And I say, you have to understand, anytime you're pulling insecurities out on people, and they can pinpoint everything that you're doing, but they become Ray Charles to what they got going on. You just stay doing your truth. You know where you're trying to be at. If somebody, the truth hurts that person, that's something wrong with them. That's not nothing wrong with you. If you know you're not going out your way to try to hurt somebody or lash on them or belittle them, because a lot of people, they can be passive aggressive. I don't have to deal with it face by face. Hell, I had to even deal with it here. And people are like, oh no. I said, look, you're being passive aggressive. But then it's just like, I say what I got to say and go on. And even half of the time, if they're being passive aggressive and I feel that's the vibe that you're giving off, I'm just going to automatically just block you. I'm just not going to allow myself to waste my energy on that. I used to be that way. And I had to tell myself, if everybody's going to have an opinion about you. Either it's going to be a positive one or it's a negative one. Appreciate the ones that are negative, because that let you know that they're threatened by something that you're doing in your life that they may not be able to do, or wish they were like, damn, I wish I would have thought about that, before they did. But I also allow myself to really appreciate the people that appreciate me, and it makes me feel good because I'm being able to do something where there's a lot of times you're in the world and you're thinking, is there anybody out there can understand the situations I go through on a daily basis? Being able to feel heavier, because at times, even though I feel like empathy is the best thing in life, it can also be the hardest thing for us too, because we get that deeper understanding. We connect with things that are truly in pain, and that's the part I don't like, because it's just like, I'm evolving so much. I love watching horror movies, but if it has something to do with some animals, oh, I'm about to get in my feelings. Like, I can't watch that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Even though I know this might be fake or CG or something like that, it is just the way. I always thought something was wrong with me when my kids wanted to always watch the old Lion King. And then when Mufasa died, I was over there tearing up, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a cartoon, and I'm sitting up here taking this. I couldn't take it, you know, and it allows you to understand. You have a deeper understanding about everything taking place in your life, and you're really trying to allow yourself to really fit in, but not fit in, but being able to fit in what you're going through and changing on a positive level. Because when I first started doing this, I never imagined myself having the outcome that I have right now, because it was like for me going through what I went through, I really felt like I was going to have a mental breakdown because I was dealing with so many things at one time and really didn't have nobody I can trust. And then when universe was guiding me to start doing videos, that was the most scariest freaking thing that I could possibly do because at that time I was very fragile. Like, I don't know how people are going to take me. I don't know if they're going to believe me. They're not going to believe me because of who my father is and all these different things. Now it's just like, I can't worry about that. I made that choice to choose to be free from my convictions, but also admit myself to my convictions of the things that I've done, the things that I've dabbled in, the things that I really had to face within my life, the things that I had to come to terms with, and the things that I had to let go of. And, not worrying about, what people's thoughts about me keep me from doing what I need to do. I always tell people, be proud of who you are. If somebody's bothered by you and you're doing nothing but good, that don't allow yourself to be stunted like that. Don't pause yourself because somebody's getting uncomfortable about what you're doing. If they can sit up here and do, if they're trying to stop you from what you're doing, they need to go ahead and reevaluate their life so they can, find their own purpose instead of trying to contradict yours. You know, and being able to do that, it took a lot, because there were certain times I felt like I needed my ego fed, for other people of, giving me that validation. It's like, no, I had to validate myself. What other people thought of me, it was not my concern. If it was something positive, I appreciate the fact that I can reflect that to you. If it was something negative, then I'm sorry, but that wasn't my intentions. But if that's how you took it, that's not, I can't be responsible about how you took something if I know I was being positive. Because it took me a long time to actually be mindful of how I said things, allowing myself to not waste my energy on trying to clap back at somebody. Now, if it's somebody that's trying to discredit me and saying something very racial, there's times I've had to make videos and said certain things because some people will come to me closed minded as I don't know what. And I've said many times, I did not choose this for my life. This is not something I'm like, hey, I'm going to be a Heyoka today, or hey, I'm going to be a twin flame today, or hey, I'm going to be Princess Daughter today. Those are not the things that I chose. These are not the things that I want to be guided towards. This is a life that, even though I picked it before I got here, you know, I was picked and chosen for the things that they wanted me to do, the things that I had to be bold in my own situation and being able to tell my story, to be able to help other people, being able to reflect on theirs, being able to allow myself to be open about the things that has really triggered me, the abuses I went through, the things I'm still going through, but the things I'm also overcoming. So I had to make that choice. Can I stay the same? Can I stay stagnant? Do I stay at a low frequency? Do I allow myself to have other people validate me than validate myself? Do I allow myself to stay weak because other people are very hard on me about who I am and what they're trying to say I'm not? And, all these different things, I had to allow myself to let go of that, because that's you're seeking validation on an outside source. You're trying to fill a void from the external instead of going within, internal. Allowing myself to, look from within for me to be able to change what is no longer serving me. Being able to let go of the situations as well as the people in it that is no longer serving me. Being able to allow myself to drive, go to that next level and thrive for it instead of staying in a situation that I'm no longer needed in. Being able to appreciate those traumatic situations to be able to help me grow, knowing, there's a lot of times that really it's like a hard pill to swallow, especially if you never got closure. A lot of times you have to keep going without that closure. You have to allow yourself to, keep moving when nobody gave you an explanation on why they did certain things they did towards me or towards, my dad or whatever is taking place. I had to be able to make peace with that before I lose my mind. There's days I sit here and cry and just ask God. I'm like, I don't understand what
what kind of war you're putting me in or what battlefield, but I already know you told me the battle is not mine. So I'm gonna just allow you to help me take place in what I'm trying my best to make peace with, and I really had to do that, for the last few days. I've been going through different changes in my life and really trying to reevaluate myself. But this is that perfect time where I had to prioritize what I needed in my life and what I needed to come to terms with, what I cannot allow myself to keep on being affected by, but allow myself to be focused on what I'm trying to manifest in my life, what things is trying to come into fusion. But a lot of times I had to be able to allow myself to step back and let things fall the way they're supposed to fall. Don't try to control everything, because it's like no matter when you try to control stuff, there's like you're trying to fix your fate on certain things, and a lot of times you don't realize that you can be your own worst enemy. You can be your own toxic trigger, because when you're trying to control things, I know what I want, universe knows what I want. And a lot of times people are, when they're on their journey, and then they got something that was really good, and with this pandemic or whatever you want to call it is going on, they've been blocked from that. And I know that can be really hard, and I tell people all the time, yes, this may be good for you right now, but even when you're at a job that is paying very well, it gives you good benefits, but all of a sudden you start having people at you. You're getting written up for being insubordinate or combative with something, knowing good and well that wasn't the things you were doing. People are being hard on you. It's like you can't go throughout the day without somebody pointing a finger and blaming you for something, or your boss is making things hard for you. That's the universe telling you they had to put that weight on you for you to walk away from that certain situation, because you're no longer needed in that. It got something better coming around the corner, but you have to have faith in yourself that you and faith in the universe. They're gonna make sure you're okay. Yeah, they know you need to survive. They know you need money to do the things you need to do to take care of yourself, take care of your household. And if you have children there, you have to do that as well. And that can be very stressful because you don't see what's coming around the corner for you, but you have to be able to let universe let things let things change and work in your favor, because there's a lot of times we don't realize, even though we may be going through some hardship at that time, there's blessings right around the corner if you just allow yourself to set free and just go with the flow. And I really tell myself that, and it's just like when I allow myself to really step back and see all the changes that's taking place. I'm speaking in existence. I was in a situation where things weren't good. Let's just put it that way. And then when I allowed myself to really see what's going on, God and, powers to be created, whatever, all those beautiful beings up there, knew what my struggle was, knew the things that I was dealing with. And I had to allow myself to just like, just pray, tell God, my situation, what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to allow myself to set free from, where you're trying to guide me to, there's better closer than I expected. And then when I allowed myself to really see the change that was taking place, even when, I did not want to take a pause for the cause and go in a hiatus, not talk to y'all for almost 2 weeks. But I started getting worried about that. And next, things still worked in my favor, even when I wasn't making videos, and it brought me back, when I first, it was like last year or year before last, they were on me like, make make videos like 6 or 7 a day, or between 7 and 12 a day. Every day I was doing that, didn't realize I was doing it like 2 and 3 weeks straight, and wondering why I'm like, almost dead to the world. And I was making all these videos, and then when I see, I was just like, gosh, I'm making these videos, and they were bringing up a lot of content they wanted me to talk about, shed light on things that people are going through, and then when it took that time for me to have to pause and go, take that time out for myself to heal, allow myself to reflect, allow myself to release, allow myself to let transformation take course, transition to take course, whatever, spiritual things I was going through, whether it was dark night of the soul, ascension, kundalini, and whatever took place. When I took pause for that, there was so many videos that I've done. I didn't have to worry about, somebody running out of videos, because it was almost close to over 2,500 videos I made now. And this is only my third year, you know. So I had to see that no matter what was going on in my little situation, in my little world, I was always protected. I was always, you know, um, guide it towards better. Even though there are certain things that has to take place, like grief, there's people passing away and stuff like that. They know that has to take place, but they know it also takes time for you not to be in that low frequency of sadness and grief and stuff like that. So they support you on those things. But all the other things, I know that has to take a lot when you giving up something, you know, and you're not understanding where your next meal is going to come from, where your next dollar is going to come from. And that can be a very scary thing. I totally get it. People are like, Roslynn, I'm going through this, that, and the third. And I just allow myself to pray for them. And I wish I had the answers. When they send me towards somebody and send them a message, I do that. Just give them the confirmation that they were looking for. And that's a blessing when I'm able to do stuff like that. And because we go through so many different things, and we might carry that vibration of doubt, unsurety, fear, distraction, all those things. And when that vibration gets very heavy, we don't realize we're like changing our reality towards things, because it's just like, if you keep fearing what's going to take place, it's going to end up taking place, because that's what you're fearing. If you're not allowing yourself to stay focused on what you're trying to bring into your life, what you've been manifesting, but you're staying focused on whatever karmic cycle you're stuck in, that's going to be your reality. And I had to really allow myself to like step back, like, look, you know what you tired of dealing with. You know what doors are trying to close for you. You have to allow yourself to let those doors close. Don't worry about who trying to keep you from what. Don't worry about what somebody trying to hurt you with, because all in all, you being protected. What's done in the dark eventually comes to the light. Don't think, certain little snippets of stuff about to come out. Everything from day one, A1 to day one, all of it's about to be taken out. Because it's like with everything that's going on, I said this back in 2017, 18. All the masks are coming off. Karma is not being picky about who she getting. She getting the poor and the damn rich. There's a lot of times people used money to cover up their little indiscretions. Now it's like their indiscretions is coming up like past vomit, like they can't get rid of it. Now everything else is coming up because people got very comfortable in what they do. And that's what God wants you to do. When you know you're doing evil deeds and you get too comfortable in what you're doing, and that you staring around in that poop pot and saying, oh, let me just sprinkle a little bit of dollars on here. It'll keep it, keep me doing whatever I want to do, because I ain't got away with it for so many years. Okay, he'll allow you. He's like, oh, you want some more? Okay, here you go. And then soon when he ready to flip that daggone switch off of you, and that table, I always told people, when you do evil deeds, it's always so funny about that table. They said, what about the table? When it turns. Because don't think just because you done got away with stuff for so long, that mess doesn't have a way of coming back to you. That's why I try my best, even with the most evilest, worst things that I go through. I know that's like, that wasn't making sense, but I'm just saying for me. You going through the most things, and people are really, doing some really evil deeds to you. You know, I had to be able to allow myself to stay focused, because it's like throughout this whole situation, when things started coming out and things, people were saying the most harshest things to me. It's funny how that mess came right back on them, and somebody always came back and told me about something somebody done to me, and then next, something pop off happening to them, and you done so much dirt to somebody, you wouldn't even know where the heck it's coming from. But I try to be that one to what I give out, so I can be able to get that back. Some people are going to appreciate it, some are going to try to take advantage. Either way, I'm allowing myself to still keep moving, not allowing myself to stay in no stagnant situation because of what somebody have done. I've had a very interesting, path since I've been on here, of how things has happened, good or bad. But I appreciate it all as well, because I don't learn something out of it and I can take something out of it, you know. But you know that you always have the choice to not choose, you know. That's very deep. I love that. You can choose to either evolve, you can choose to remain. Either or, you're gonna get something out of it, something you ain't gonna like and something you are gonna like. When everything's all said and done, when that dust clears and you finally heal from everything that's taken place in your life, everything that has slowed you down, everything that has hurt you, everything that has broke you down to nothing, everything that's put you settles, you're gonna appreciate everything you went through. You're going to be blessed. You're going to feel like you're blessed when everything is all said and done, because those situations, when you're at the bottom of the barrel, you're going to work your hardest to get all the way up to the top, because you knew what it felt like to be at that bottom. You know what it felt like when you've been there for everybody else, and then when that table turned and them shoes got on the other foot, they left your life. they got what they needed. They already, they don't, you don't serve the benefit of them. You allowed yourself to part ways with people that only want to stay connected with you when they just needed you. I tell people when they're like, oh, we ain't got to talk, or I'll stop by every once in a while just to see it. No, when we sever this connection, I want it to always sever it. I say I ain't keep no bad ill will towards you. I'm glad you showed me your truth and you about to see mine. But I say I don't need nobody in my life like that. I can see if it's somebody we ain't had no strong dealings or no upset or whatever in our lives. And we all get busy, we all got things that we're doing. And it's just like when somebody shows me their truth and they know they're not being genuine with me, I'm not gonna fuss about that. I'm not gonna, I'm only gonna say one time, just allow you to know this is what I'm feeling when it comes to you. And then if you keep doing that, it's just every time you keep doing it, it's just allowing myself to back up and leave you free. But I appreciate, that instant, if somebody stays in my life for a lifetime, I appreciate that. If somebody just supposed to stay in my life for that short season, I'm gonna still appreciate it. I had to allow myself to take that change because I used to be that quick one. Or I wish I never met this certain person, or I wish I never been through that. You needed to. You had to, because when this situation pops up again and somebody carrying them same kind of energies that could have messed you up, you can appreciate like, ooh, they remind me of that certain person. Let me go ahead and back up because I already dealt with this before. And that's a lot of times we don't know that. Those are the life lessons we had to go through. So if this situation pops up again, or you start seeing that same vibe that person might carry, you already know how to deal with it and just keep it moving. So allow yourself to choose to not choose to be in that funk anymore. Allow yourself to choose better for you. Allow yourself to do that shadow work that's going to make you rise above all chaos. Allow yourself to be that peace surrounding all chaos. When people want to act crazy, you act sane with your knowledge, your wisdom, your strength, your growth, your power. You are that one setting an example. You are reflecting a lot of things out to them that other people need to take note on. So allow yourself to go. Allow yourself not to stand in your own way of the process of your progress, because that's where it's going to take you. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of this video. I much love to y'all. Let me go ahead and give a post notification shout out to Quinn Heflin, Heyoka Armor Tiger Shark, Yaylee 1313, Megan, and as well as Dominique Johnson at the same time. Much love to you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. It's so good to have you. Appreciating you be here. Give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, drop a line. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload the next video. Tell somebody about the channel. You never, know they might find something interesting. Drop a line. I would love to give you a post notification shout out if I didn't say that already. If you need to get in touch with me privately, I got my email on there on my about part of my channel, or the fastest way you can get in touch with me is on Facebook Messenger. You can send me, I don't know if you have to send a request first, but you can always send me a short message letting me know, hey, you connect with me here, or you're part of the Heyoka family and you needed assistance with your spiritual path, to get a deeper understanding. I'll try my best to answer all the questions I can about your spiritual path and what you need to know. Or if not, I can find information to help you, guide you along that way of knowing, having that deeper knowledge about what is taking place. Everything we talk about is confidential. You don't have to worry about, anything getting out. So, I hope that y'all have a blessed weekend. Be responsible and safe for everything you do. Make sure you keep sanitizing, the 6 feet, part 6 foot, whatever they want to call it. Even through social distancing, make sure you give out love, light, frequency, love, light, prosperity, and positivity through words, vibes, and frequencies. Know that you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved, and knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. And I pray that everything that you are trying to manifest in your life into fruition comes 100,000 times more than what you expected or even asked or prayed for, and it comes so much sooner than you expected it as well. And I will see y'all on my next video. Much love to you. Peace and be wild.